Welcome to English Easy Hub. Join us as we ignite the flames of your English learning journey together.
Please subscribe to watch and embark on your English learning journey. Don't miss out on the exciting content. In this conversation, Simon seeks advice from his professor on how to enhance his English speaking skills using various tech tools. The discussion covers a range of innovative solutions, including speech recognition software, pronunciation feedback apps, immersive learning through VR and AR, and methods for maintaining consistency and tracking progress. The professor offers insights on how to effectively integrate these tools into a balanced learning routine, emphasizing the importance of real-world practice alongside technological assistance.
Hi, Professor. I've been really interested in improving my English speaking skills, and I've heard that there are tech tools that can help with that. Could you share some insights on what tools I should start using?
Hi, Simon. That's a great area to explore. There are indeed several tech tools that can significantly enhance your English speaking skills. For starters, I would recommend using speech recognition software like Google Speech-to-Text or Microsoft Dictate. These tools can help you practice your pronunciation by converting your spoken words into text, allowing you to see where you might be making mistakes.
That sounds helpful. But how exactly do these tools improve pronunciation? Do they provide feedback or corrections?
They don't provide feedback in the way a human tutor might, but they do help you identify mispronunciations. If the software consistently misinterprets certain words you're saying, that's a clear indication that you need to work on those sounds. You can compare the text output with the correct spelling of the words and practice the problematic sounds until the software starts recognizing them correctly.
I see. So, it's more about self-monitoring and adjustment. Are there any tools that do provide more direct feedback on pronunciation?
Yes, there are more advanced tools designed specifically for pronunciation practice. One of the best is ELSA Speak. It uses AI to analyze your pronunciation and gives you detailed feedback on which specific sounds you need to improve. It even breaks down words into individual phonemes, helping you to focus on the exact part of the word where your pronunciation is off.
That sounds impressive. Does it also help with fluency? I feel like I often hesitate while speaking, especially when trying to form longer sentences.
ELSA Speak does have features to help with fluency, but for this particular aspect, I would recommend using shadowing techniques with tools like englishlistening or FluentU. English allows you to hear how words and phrases are pronounced in real-life contexts by native speakers. You can shadow these speakers by repeating after them, which can greatly enhance both your fluency and confidence.
Shadowing sounds like it could be really effective. But sometimes I struggle with understanding native speakers when they speak quickly. Are there tools that can help with that?
Absolutely. Tools like SpeechLing and the slow down feature on YouTube can be very useful. SpeechLing offers a variety of listening exercises at different speeds, which can gradually train your ear to understand fast-paced speech. On YouTube, you can slow down videos without changing the pitch, making it easier to catch every word. Practicing with these can improve your comprehension and help you keep up with faster speakers over time.
That's great advice. I also heard that voice recording and playback can be useful for self-assessment. Is there a particular way to use this method effectively?
Recording yourself is a powerful technique. Tools like Audacity or even your smartphone's voice memo app can be used for this purpose. After recording, play back the audio and listen critically. Compare your speech to that of native speakers. Note the differences in intonation, rhythm, and clarity. You can also keep these recordings as a progress tracker, revisiting older ones to see how much you've improved.
I like the idea of tracking progress. It sounds motivating. Speaking of motivation, sometimes I find it hard to stay consistent with practice. Are there tools that can help me build a routine?
Consistency is key, and there are several apps that can help you stay on track. I'd recommend using Habitica or Beeminder. Habitica gamifies your learning process, turning daily practice into a game where you earn rewards for completing tasks. Beeminder, on the other hand, helps you set goals and tracks your progress, with real-world consequences if you don't stick to your plan. Both can be very effective in keeping you motivated.
Gamification sounds like it would make practice a lot more fun. I'm curious, do you think using social platforms like Discord or Clubhouse could also be useful for speaking practice?
Absolutely, Simon. Social platforms are a fantastic way to engage in real conversations with others. Discord has numerous language learning communities where you can practice speaking with peers or even native speakers in voice channels. Clubhouse offers opportunities to join or listen in on live discussions, where you can practice speaking in a more spontaneous and informal setting. Both platforms can simulate real-life conversations, which is invaluable for improving fluency and building confidence.
That makes a lot of sense. It's almost like having an international language exchange at your fingertips. One last question. How do I know if I'm genuinely improving? Are there tools that can measure my progress over time?
That's a very important question. Measuring progress can be challenging, but tools like the Common European Framework of Reference, CFR, apps, or online assessment tests can give you a clear idea of where you stand. Additionally, apps like Babbel or Duolingo offer placement tests that adapt to your level, allowing you to see how you're progressing. For a more detailed analysis, you could use tools like Grammarly or ProWritingAid to check not only your speaking, but also your writing, which can reflect your overall language proficiency.
Thank you so much, Professor. This has been incredibly insightful. I'm excited to start using these tools and to see how much I can improve.
You're very welcome, Simon. I'm glad I could help. Remember, consistent practice combined with the right tools will yield significant results. Keep challenging yourself, and don't hesitate to reach out if you have more questions in the future.
Professor, one more thing, what about immersive learning experiences? I've heard that some apps or VR tools can simulate real-life conversations. Do those actually help, or are they just gimmicks?
That's an excellent question, Simon. Immersive learning can be incredibly effective. Virtual reality, VR, platforms like Monly VR or Immerse offer simulated environments where you can practice speaking in various real-life scenarios, such as ordering food in a restaurant or asking for directions. These simulations are not gimmicks. They provide a safe space for practicing conversational skills without the pressure of real-world consequences. You can also repeat scenarios as many times as you need, which reinforces learning.
That sounds like it could be a lot of fun, too. Is there a specific VR tool you would recommend for someone at an intermediate level?
For intermediate learners, I would recommend trying Monly VR. It's particularly user-friendly and covers a wide range of scenarios that can help you build confidence in everyday conversations. The immersive nature of VR makes it easier to remember phrases and vocabulary because you're associating them with specific contexts. If you're interested in a more academic focus, Immerse offers more structured lessons, which can also be beneficial.
Interesting. How about augmented reality, AR? I've seen some language apps incorporate AR. How does that work for language learning?
Augmented reality is another innovative tool that's making waves in language learning. Apps like Monly AR use AR to place virtual objects in your real-world environment, which you can interact with using voice commands. For example, you might see a virtual apple on your table, and the app will ask you to describe it or use it in a sentence. This interaction not only reinforces vocabulary, but also helps you think in the language rather than just translating in your head.
It's amazing how much technology can do. But I wonder, with all these tools, is there a risk of becoming too dependent on technology and not developing real communication skills?
That's a valid concern, Simon. While these tools are incredibly useful, they should complement, not replace, real-life practice. The key is to balance your tech-assisted learning with real-world application. For instance, after practicing with a VR or AR tool, try to use what you've learned in a real conversation, whether it's with a language exchange partner, a tutor, or even just talking to yourself. The technology can give you the confidence and foundation, but real-world interaction is where the real growth happens.
That makes sense. So, it's about integrating what I learned from these tools into actual conversations and experiences. Do you think it's also important to set specific goals for each practice session?
Absolutely. Setting specific goals can make your practice sessions much more effective. Whether it's mastering a particular set of vocabulary, improving your pronunciation of certain sounds, or increasing your fluency by a certain percentage, having clear objectives gives you something to measure your progress against. Tools like BeMinder can help you track these goals, ensuring that you stay on course and make continuous progress.
Speaking of goals, should I be focusing on one skill at a time, like pronunciation or fluency, or is it better to work on multiple aspects simultaneously?
It depends on your current level and learning style. For beginners or those at an intermediate level, it might be more effective to focus on one skill at a time to avoid feeling overwhelmed. However, as you progress, integrating multiple skills into your practice can be more beneficial. For example, you could start a session by focusing on pronunciation with ELSA Speak, then move on to practicing fluency with shadowing exercises on English, and finally, wrap up with a VR conversation to apply everything you've learned in context.
That sounds like a well-rounded approach. I'll definitely try to mix it up in my practice sessions. Just to clarify, though, how much time should I be dedicating to practice each day?
The amount of time can vary depending on your goals and availability, but consistency is more important than duration. Even just 20 to 30 minutes a day can be very effective if done regularly. The key is to make sure that your practice is focused and goal-oriented. If you can manage longer sessions, that's great, but even short, daily practice sessions can lead to significant improvement over time.
Thanks, Professor. This conversation has really opened my eyes to the potential of tech tools in language learning. I'm eager to get started and see where this journey takes me.
I'm glad to hear that, Simon. You're on the right track, and with your dedication, I'm confident you'll make great strides. Don't hesitate to experiment with different tools and approaches until you find what works best for you. And remember, the journey is just as important as the destination. Enjoy the process of learning and the doors it will open for you.
This dialogue highlights the value of combining cutting-edge technology with practical language learning strategies. Simon learns that while tech tools like ELSA Speak, Monly VR, and speech recognition software can significantly aid in improving pronunciation, fluency, and confidence, the true growth in language skills comes from consistently applying these tools in real-life conversations. The professor's guidance underscores the importance of setting specific goals, balancing different aspects of language learning, and enjoying the process of continuous improvement.
Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share to keep the English learning journey alive.